to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome, one and all, to That Wrestling Podcast. It is I, Brian. Hey, on 2 weeks in a row now to talk all things of professional wrestling. Kevin is not here. It was Brett's last day of school. They are off celebrating, watching Pacers and Knicks, which I think is about to tip off as we speak. And Joe is here, as you guys all know, too. As Jason declared last week, he is off this week. He was going to be taking off this week, no matter what was going on. So,
hey, I'm here.
Joe, it's just me and you, man. I think we're just going to roll through today.
I'm okay with that. I feel content, actually. I feel pretty good. It's like last week it was all about, hey, the four, we're all back together.
Right.
Now, half of us leave, so I guess the A team is back together again, Brian.
Interesting. Yeah, it's like, Kevin, I totally get, and Jay, set it off the bat that he wasn't going to be here, but it's like, even though they're not here, like, especially Jay, I feel his presence, like his impact on the show, even when he's not here, is
Lincoln
still
Park
felt
sucks.
like.
Sucks. Hey,
what?
Tell me,
what the hell?
Sucks. I'm here. Is my mic not on?
I thought I was like imagining your voice that I heard these things.
Here.
What the fuck are you doing here?
So, I know what I said last week, but I watched Raw on the plane flying back from Vegas, and I really liked it. The two triple threat matches for the Money in the Bank qualifier match, I was like, wow, these are great. I was just really into it. 2, I can't rob the people.
Yes, that's true.
And 3rd, I can't have Joe thinking he's got a week off from me. I can't have him being happy.
The ultimate
kicker.
So
I am back.
Well, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Now the real A team is here. Me and Brian.
Wow, look at that.
So.
Oh, well, welcome. There's always room for you, of course, on the podcast. And let's get into it because you just started posting on our social media about what you were doing out in Las Vegas, and it had some pretty fun things that went down.
So we went to Vegas for a wedding, and that was the main event. That was Sunday. So we get there Friday, and we were staying at the Mandalay Bay, and that is where the arena, the Michelob Ultra Arena for the Las Vegas Aces WNBA team is. It's in the casino.
Wow.
So I got to go to my first WNBA game, and for years, Brian thinks it's some bit that I like the WNBA. No, it's real. And let me tell you, that game, it was their home opener, so there was a huge buzz because of that. It was a buzzer beater to win the game. Jewel Lloyd hit a 3 from the corner. And the new greatest mascot overtakes Shooter. Remember Shooter, Brian?
Yes, Plymouth Whalers fame. Yes.
Buckets.
Yeah.
The Aces bunny that is their logo. The new, it's all buckets all the time.
And Joe, of course, is protesting with his Sparty Funko Pop, Michigan State alumni, proud, of course.
You know what? Buckets, get yourself a Funko Pop. Get yourself get yourself this is the best mascot in all the land.
The bars.
I have Funkos of me. Does that make me the greatest mascot of all?
Well, you had to buy. Yes, you are a
mascot. I got the Dunkin' Donuts version. I got the radio version. I got the wrestling commentator version. Am I the greatest mascot of all time?
You're our mascot. There you go. No, you can't say
Cheers.
that. I am glad you enjoyed your WNBA game. I'm glad that you had a good time. But when you sent that garbage of the greatest mascot ever, I was so offended by that one. That out of everything you've ever said, that offended me the most.
Was there one thing that put buckets over the top in your mind over Shooter?
He gave me a fist bump. That's why.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Because you know where I sit when I get the good seats. So we were like 4 rows off the floor.
Nice.
So it was great. And I know people, Brian, piss all over the WNBA, but goddamn, it was so much fun. And, Brian, as a parent of 2 girls, you can be encouraging this type of stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Should
not
be
so much
teaching them.
pissing on the WNBA. I'm pissing on your alleged fandom of the
Oh,
WNBA, where
whatever.
you were sending texts of like, "Who's going #1 in the draft tonight?"
Oh, the draft was
Ooh, like
great. The last 2 years, the draft has
I
been
know, but
awesome.
you were doing this 5 years ago. That's
And
my
training
point.
camp. Yes. I mean, I'm in. I'm
I
in.
know. I didn't believe it, and I still kind of don't. But it's
Yeah,
good for you
whatever.
that you had a good time.
So then Saturday, we went to the Sphere to see Kenny Chesney, which was amazing.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you guys watched the video I posted of it, but it was a great time. Um, then Sunday. So the Mandalay Bay has a very busy pool. And then they have their day club, like it's like a nightclub, but it's at the pool and it's during the day. They also have a topless pool.
Hey now.
For $50, you can go into the topless pool area. Somebody in my house went, and it's not me.
Oh my.
She did not get topless, but it was a calmer scene than what the day club pool was.
Ah.
So we went to this wedding,
Yes.
and this is the first wedding I've been to that had a run-in, a chair shot, and a table spot. Now, here's what's really funny. Brian, you met John on the cruise.
Yes. Uh-huh.
John was at the wedding too, and we met up earlier that day to have lunch. And he said something about, when they say speak now or forever hold your peace, I'm like, oh, they don't do that anymore. That's just TV.
Right. That's a wrestling wedding thing. TV.
They did it.
Yeah.
Do you have the clip?
I do.
TNA wrestler Ryan Nemeth
Yeah.
burst into the door and just started, marriage is a scam, guys are idiots. And then this happened. So he interrupted, the bride hit him with a chair, and now the bride and groom, if you're listening, are trying and throw his ass through a table for interrupting their big dick.
What a pop!
There was a "This is awesome" chant. And needless to say, a
Unbelievable.
wedding like, no other. So, I've joked on this podcast about a friend I may or may not have that may or may not work at WWE.
Yeah.
This may or may not have been the wedding for that may or may not have that may or may not work at WWE.
I may or may not have seen Omos in the crowd on that video clip.
Omos.
If you look close enough, yes.
You can't miss him. Omos was there.
Are you sure it was him?
Oh, yeah. And then Chris Van Vliet was there.
Yes.
And I didn't even know that this friend I may or may not have was friends with Chris Van Vliet. So they were at the table next to us. Ryan Nemeth sat at their table because I guess they made up or forgot what had happened an hour earlier.
Yeah, that happens.
At the wedding. So I did talk to Chris Van Vliet.
Oh.
Yeah. I just wanted, like, people were asking Omos for pictures and stuff, and that's fine. I just didn't want to do it because I didn't want to embarrass the friend I may or may not have that may or may not work at WWE.
I'm not surprised you did that.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But Chris Van Vliet was there with his wife, and he was over by the guest book, and I just walked over and just said hello. And his big thing is that 80% of the people that watch or listen to his podcast aren't subscribed.
Wow.
So he's asking for, to do a Hurricane Rana on that subscribe button. So I just went up and I said, hey, man, I'm in like the 18% that is subscribed. So he got a little laugh out of that. And, how do you know the bride and groom? And I just, it was just cool. I listened to his great interview, and he is the legit #1 pro wrestling podcast out there. I know I say that from time to time that we're #1, but we're not even close. But it was a cool experience. I don't think any other wedding will top that, except for they had a weed bar outside. and different types of weed and strains and all that stuff. I didn't do
Wow.
it
Yeah.
because I've just done edible gummies. I've never actually smoked weed before. But they had a 2 foot joint,
My goodness.
2 feet, and they were passing it around at the end of the night. And
Oh my God.
this friend I may or may not have that may or may not work at WWE, he has a lot of actor friends, so I met some really cool people. Yeah, it was a great time. And the on the way out, I put $40 into a slot machine, and I won 400.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then
That's
I
the way to
lost
go out.
200. And then I lost 200 of that 400.
Oh, come on.
But I
Okay.
still came out ahead and pretty much
Yeah.
for the weekend, excluding my shopping because I shopped a lot this weekend. But yeah, the wedding was crazy. Go check it out on our socials. I mean, I'm sure it's going to go viral. Ryan Nemeth
Yeah. Oh,
is
yeah.
out there now, and it was a great experience. Keith and Danny, congrats. And yeah, so Vegas is done for me for a while because I was out there twice in a month.
Right.
And yeah, that was my weekend. What'd you guys do?
Well, we did get a good kick out of the picture you sent of your wife taking a
Oh,
picture
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
O
yeah.
Moss in front of her taking a picture. Just seeing that size was
Yeah,
you got a
I
good
won't
laugh
be,
over that.
yeah, I won't post that online, but I
Right,
did,
right.
for you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, man, and glad it all went well. Glad the I do's survived the run-in, as you guys just saw. So yeah, our weekend was just Memorial Weekend madness and stuff, but it was a busy one in the world of wrestling, as we talked about last week, guys. So let's cover kind of some of the biggest parts of the weekend. Bronson Reed joining up with Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker. He absolutely demolished CM Punk.
Fun fact,
Love
Bronson
that.
Reed was supposed to go to the wedding on Sunday. Hard subject to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he was busy on Saturday. They were where were
Oh,
they?
sorry, I got called into
Tampa.
work. Can't
They
make
were
your
in
wedding.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe tough to get to Vegas from Tampa, that late of a night on Saturday to
And then
There
go
was
back
a,
Sunday.
to Tampa the next day for
there was
Raw.
there was another
Oh
deadbeat.
yeah.
There was also a deadbeat that did not show up. I'll let you guys figure
Oh,
out.
I figured that one out.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Okay. Um, well, what did you guys think? I mean, I think we've all been big Bronson Reed fans here. You like the fit? Think this is a good spot here?
Go ahead,
I think
Joe.
it's a good. I
Yeah.
think it's a good start. I wasn't expecting it, especially who he was going against when he went out,
Yeah.
especially who he took out for a while too. I mean, it like didn't make sense until the hug. Then I'm like, okay, I see what he's doing here. Seth is a visionary and has a vision of like if this guy can take me out, he's with me. So
Right.
I'm not poo-pooing it or anything. It's just I'm they need to win something soon.
Okay.
Like for this to be realist, like they all have to have gold for this to work. I mean, the Shield all had gold, Evolution all had gold, uh, Bloodline all had gold, Judgment Day all had gold. They need to get gold soon.
All right. I know. I get the references you're making there. Jay?
What if this is the beginning of a Seth Rollins storyline that everyone that he has ever crossed, he forgives, or anyone that has crossed him forgives, and then he just develops a whole squad of people over time.
So, yeah, who would be another
Roman.
candidate? Oh, that's the big one.
Roman follows no one.
Unless, yeah,
CM
No, I mean,
Punk,
look,
unless
I
Paul Heyman is involved.
yeah, it was definitely the didn't see that coming, which is great
Yeah.
because
right?
wrestling is better when there is surprises. So good for him. This is awesome. I mean, that dude, he beat Okada in the Tokyo Dome.
That's such a good feather in the cap for his career.
And,
Not a lot of people have done that.
yeah, so I'm glad he's back. I think this should be it. I think I said a week or two ago, maybe add a woman, but I like this much better.
Okay.
Hmm. This
So
also, I like that he came back outside the ring. He didn't go in the ring to make his return. He attacked the guy outside the ring, where it
Okay.
was like, hey, what was that in the side? And like the camera angle was perfect, where you could just see the giant in black going to attack CM Punk.
squash the hell out of him.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was
it worked.
awesome. Awesome,
Because the
awesome
last time
spot.
we saw Bronson Reed, he was squashing Seth Rollins with 7 tsunamis.
Yeah. And then he got hurt in the
War
War
Games.
Games match. Yeah.
Right.
So, and I hadn't heard anything about him, ooh, he's working out in the PC. This was out of sight, out of mind for a while. So, hell of a return.
Well, he's
And
from Australia, so I don't know if he lives here or just traveled. Like,
yeah,
it could be anything, which is why we didn't hear anything.
exactly. So yeah, I put it out there to you guys in the rundown. Any potential this could end up bigger than the Shield? Obviously, Seth is Seth.
No,
You've got
No.
Bronson and you got
no.
Braun and you got Roman and Dean Ambrose at the time. We're
This is
saying no
evolution.
way.
This is evolution, not the
Okay.
Shield.
With Paul Heyman as the Ric Flair one, but not wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was kind of my one wild card in when my Shield comparison in my head was you still got Paul Heyman, and that's adding a little something different than the Shield did, and we know just how incredible he is. So, what are the odds up against them that they're not going to? Correct. But I wouldn't completely rule it out. But I also think this seems to me like by the time next WrestleMania rolls around,
Okay.
like a Braun Breaker says, Seth, I'm done following you. That sort of thing. Like, I don't see this being the Shield was around for probably what, guys? 3
2 years.
years, I'd
Yeah.
say. I
I think it
don't
was
know.
2.
2 years at least.
Yeah.
I don't see this having quite that longevity. I could see a calendar year essentially.
Okay,
So
here's your 5 second booking of that angle. Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank. Braun protects him from losing it from time to, or helps him cash it in, and then protects the title for 6 months on Seth. And then Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble in January. So that was about a 13-second booking instead of 5. My bad.
I love it.
There you go.
Take
Story
all the
writes itself.
seconds you need. We're
And that
good.
happened with Evolution with Batista.
Right. Right. Batista
Randy.
won the Rumble and took out
Yeah.
Triple H.
Yeah, because Randy got
Won the title.
he won the title over he who shall not be named,
And
and
Chris
then got
Benoit.
turned down the next one. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's a good way to go with it. I would rather see it go kind of like the Judgment Day type of thing, where these two just basically like kick Seth out before he wins anything. Like
Oh.
Seth never wins the gold.
Ooh.
They start winning, but Seth never wins it. So
Mhm.
Heyman pretty much devises a plan of out with the old, continue with the new, and
bad.
Seth gets kicked out.
Hmm.
Like Edge got kicked out of Judgment Day.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good play out too. I don't know, maybe we'll have more insight once Money in the Bank wraps up since Seth is now qualified and without knowing all the competitors, you had to consider him, if not the favorite, he is one of the favorites. So, see how
Out of
that.
the 3 that are in it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
And
sorry, yeah.
well, indeed. Yeah, yeah. All right, love all that. John Cena, of course, defeated R-Truth and had his little interaction with Jey Uso backstage. Ends up coming out during Jay's match with Logan Paul, which leads to Cody Rhodes' return. And we're already announced for Money in the Bank. It's John Cena and Jey Uso versus, I'm sorry, John Cena, Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. The fallout, and especially to you, you're not feeling the Cena heel turn. You want to switch it. Any different feelings after the developments on Saturday night?
Yeah, I respect R-Truth a lot more. And I'm not trying to be a hater. It's the look on his face when Cena was about to hit him with the belt.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he was crushed. And I'm like, okay, this is great storytelling. And I thought Cena did a good job too. I'm just still not feeling this heel turn. I'm not.
Okay.
It's not working for me. They're bringing in Logan Paul with it too and turning it into a tag match. Okay, fine. It gets him in LA. And I heard on Busted Open too that they were complaining about bringing Cody back this soon. It's like that wasn't the plan. This is in case of emergency break glass. I think it was always a plan because you wouldn't have had Saturday night's main event is not for us. It's for people who may become fans later. It gets more people's eyes on the prize, and it's a showcase of what you can see on Mondays and Fridays. So I think Cody coming back was always the plan for Tampa. They wouldn't have had such a big deal about it having like Saturday's main event, NXT, and Raw all in the same weekend.
I think the tag match works.
I do, absolutely.
And when Jey Uso pins John Cena, then we get Cena and Uso at Night of Champions to combine the titles.
Ooh.
And John Cena ruins wrestling by taking all the titles.
Shit.
I'll be in New Jersey at UFC 316, so I will not know what happens. But yeah,
I was already thinking more bigger picture of, you bring Cody Rhodes back because SummerSlam. Like, we're going to do this tag match, and then we're going to go to SummerSlam. It's 2 nights, big stadium again in New Jersey. So I was like, yeah, this makes sense all along. And yeah, they're leaning into getting him with Logan Paul. He's probably the biggest heel hated on the roster. So I think, again, if you want the crowd to react how they want it to be, this is the move to make.
Well, what's great is Cena was on Stephanie's Places this week, and they made a point to say John didn't want to talk about what he's doing now on this show. So basically, he's retiring because he can't bench what he used to. He can't lift what he used to. He can't do the things. And I think it's a good move. You know, obviously he'll be the ultimate representative, at business events and, TV stuff. Like, he'll be a good brand ambassador. So it'll be good to see. But yeah, check out Stephanie's Places on whatchamacallit, on
Disney Plus, ESPN Plus. Yeah.
Dirty Dom was on her podcast last week. That was a fun listen too. So when you're done watching or listening to this, go check out Steph's and Cody's podcast re-debuted this week with his wife Brandy. And as much as I thought I was going to dislike it because I'm not really a fan of hers, it was good. It was good. So go check that out too. What do you want to talk about is what it's called.
That does make sense. That would be called. But that's cool. And we got new TNA champ. It is Trick Williams coming out of NXT. Another one you guys were kind of like, I don't like it. I don't think this is the move. I'm a fan of it, guys. And it brought in Mike Santana on NXT on Tuesday night. And I'll tell you the one reason why I like it. For the first time, and I don't even know it maybe ever, as we're recording, I'm DVRing TNA.
What?
Because I want to see Trick on TNA tonight and see how the crowd reacts.
He's been on TNA
what the storyline is going to react to it, huh?
He's been on TNA for the last month.
I know, but now as
he doesn't know
champion.
Oh, that's right, because he doesn't watch it, so he doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't watch. I'm very tunnel vision. But yeah, they showed the TNA president in the crowd at Battleground, like when Trick won, and he looked like, looked like he was staring at death, like what's happening in my company. It's intriguing to me. I think that I don't know if it's going to continue to be great, but for this first time and just making the move as far as buzz and excitement, they got me hooked.
I also think too we need a TNA person to win an NXT title now.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
Maybe on the women's side. Maybe that is what happens. Look, this is all brand new and groundbreaking, and so much. I'm not gonna be negative, but TNA has had partners in the past, and they haven't really did their part to make TNA look the part. Right. It was all one-sided. An NXT guy won the TNA title, but how many great matches have we had in the last 3 months since they announced this? I don't know exactly how long, but it's very beneficial to everyone. So I did not watch I didn't watch Roadblock.
Battleground. You were at the wedding.
Right.
Oh, was it Battleground?
Yeah.
You and Chris Van Vliet were shooting the shit.
Roadblock is usually before WrestleMania because it's the road to WrestleMania.
My sources say that Chris Van Vliet refused to pass the 2-foot bong over to you, or with the joint.
Not true. He did not take part. Allegedly.
Oh, okay. My sources are incorrect. I apologize.
Yes. He went, no. Just
Okay.
it was awesome.
Fair enough.
The 3 minutes I got to talk to him.
18%, buddy. That's good work. Joe, any update on your thoughts? Because again, you were very like, I don't like it. I don't think this is a good move for TNA, especially.
I just don't want it to be like when Kenny had it and when Christian had it. I don't want that. If it's going to happen, then I like the idea of a TNA guy winning an NXT title. Like, even if it's like a women's title or a North American title, whatever. But Trick should be TNA only while he's a champion.
Okay.
Oh.
I think that will make it more beneficial for both brands because an NXT guy is going to be on TNA, so NXT fans will watch that, and TNA will be having NXT guys doing there too. But I'd rather have it be, if he's going to be there, then he just stays there for now while he's champion. Don't go to NXT.
Kind of make it like, Sean, you can't pay me what I want. I'm just going to stay over here for a while until you can come back with the money. Like, that would be cool. That is a really cool idea, and surprisingly a good one from you, Joe.
They come up every
Trick
so often.
NA. Yeah, Trick NA is how he played it. I think my one caveat too about the bigger picture of it all, he would need to lose the TNA title on a TNA show or pay-per-view. When Kenny Omega was TNA champ, he lost. I want to say it was on the very first episode of Rampage. And it was to Christian, who of course had TNA history, but was another AEW guy.
It was
so
here in Pittsburgh.
It was in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Were you there?
No, I was not.
Shocking.
I was still living in LA.
Oh, okay.
Now, week 2, Kevin and I were in Vegas for SummerSlam when CM Punk debuted.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Putting the pieces together. Also, the winner of AEW Double or Nothing's the Owen Hart is Hangman Page. He defeated Will Ospreay. We all thought Will Ospreay should win. Yeah. There was
but did I say I wanted Will Ospreay to beat Moxley? I said no to that one. So when I read your rundown and like we all thought it was supposed to be Ospreay, I'm like, but I didn't care because I didn't think either one of them are going to beat Moxley anyway.
Right. No. Yeah. You have Darby. Should still be the guy.
Yes.
But we know that at least Hangman and not Will Ospreay is going to be the challenger at their biggest show of All In coming up. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people think this is the redemption story. I get that, but I really felt like the Will Ospreay, that's like the turning the page of putting a new era of AEW onto the map.
Well, I think he was drunk when he told AJ Styles to get fired so you can come over here and wrestle. I think he was hitting the sex on the beaches a little hard at 10 a.m.
He certainly was.
How long does it take to get over that cruise?
We're feeling it still.
Yeah. So, Joe, do you have anything else? Because I want to get into anarchy in the arena.
Not really, except for the fact that it's like, Hangman won, but my only thing about the pay-per-view or AEW pay-per-views in general is why does everything have to be a 35 to 40 minute epic match? Can't we have shorter matches? That's it. That's all. They don't all have to be 72 false finishes. It just gets tired after a while.
Well, next week's Dynamite is a 4-hour.
Oh, that's right. They did announce that. Holy, what we're going to set the over under on when we all turn it off at what time and see if we beat that over or under. We'll give our predictions.
Well, it's on the day before my last day of school, so I'll make it 30 minutes and then I'm asleep.
That's fun.
Anarchy
in the Arena. You caught this, Jay? Or
well, there was a moment in the match where Kenny Omega summoned the drowning pool. So the song "Bodies." and it started playing in the arena while the match was going on. On the same night, they awarded 2 Owen Hart Cup tournament championships. Did nobody think this?
I gotcha. Yeah.
Like,
I had made that connection, but I get where you're going with it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you're going to say, oh, you don't like to have fun, think about it. The song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Yeah.
Where that is the finals of 2 Owen Hart tournaments.
Yeah.
Not a good
I don't
not
know
a
if you're
good
reading
look,
too much
AEW.
into it because I mean, if I remember right from my active rock radio days, that was a song about mosh pits. You know,
Doesn't matter what it's about. It's about what it says.
yeah. Well,
And in the
is
month
it
of
or
May.
huh?
And in the month of May.
It was not long. Yeah, the anniversary of him passing was not long ago. If it hasn't happened already, I think it did a couple of days ago from
Yes.
what I think I had caught online.
I don't
Okay, I
know.
mean, listen, yeah, I'm sure there's a million other songs they could have used that would have gotten that reaction. So,
You
point.
know, I don't know. Maybe it's making me. Maybe it's my age that is thinking this way.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. And it isn't even a. Oh, you don't like AEW. Well, that's not the case either because I really enjoyed Dynamite this week. But like, I don't know. It was just a weird choice.
yeah,
They bought the rights to Walk from Pantera. I mean, they've got all these songs under, that they've, got a licensing deal with. But that one on that night,
yeah.
kind of rubs me the wrong way.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Speaking of Double or Nothing and kind of the state of AEW and their shows and WWE. There has been a lot of WWE doing their counter programming to AEW. Of course, we had head to head on Sunday with Double or Nothing was NXT Battleground. Then the other day they announced that NXT's Great American Bash is going to run on Saturday afternoon of July 12th, which is the same time as All In. It's sometime in the afternoon. So we're going to, again, head to head. Then later that night, they're going to have Saturday night's main event. And then just one that came across today, not official yet, but it seems like it's pointing to that of AEW in August. They're doing a residency at the ECW Arena. And the rumor is NXT, the week before the residency starts, is putting an NXT in the ECW Arena. Couple ways to look at this, guys. First off, I mean, is this when you see these things happen? Is this, do you just kind of go, you know what? This is just business. This is what happens in competition. You're trying to beat the other guy. And that's what's fair is fair. Do you guys have any of those thoughts, first off?
Honestly, the only people that care about this are the idiot fans on Twitter that are making the case for AEW and flying the flag that WWE sucks for what they're doing. I honestly, to YouTube, to the people watching on YouTube, to the people listening where you get your podcast, I don't give a fuck about counter programming. All that means is more wrestling to watch. You can watch your favorite live, watch the other one on demand later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Joe?
Yeah, I don't care where they're at. I don't care if it's on the same time. You know, we grew up in an era where they were both on at Monday night for 5 years. You chose which one to watch, and we didn't have DVR then. Okay, I might as well just go on like, old man yelling at the cloud. You can watch whatever you want now. You don't have to like go to the store and buy cassettes to set the timer on a VCR to watch it later.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, kids don't know what that means.
They don't get that. But the point is, the only ones who care are the people who are complaining on Twitter. But if it didn't happen, they'd find something else to complain about instead. So this is just like the latest new toy that they can complain about. Next week it'll be something they're outraged about then. So I think it's a non-story.
Okay.
And the other worst part about this is the For You section on Twitter. Because I don't follow those people.
Oh, yes.
I didn't care enough to follow them. So I follow the stuff I follow. I don't need a tab of people that I don't follow because I don't follow them, but you think I should.
They just
The,
pop up. Yeah.
so it's the dumbass fans and the For You button on
Yeah.
Twitter. Terrible.
I
You know,
will.
I'm still waiting for you to follow me. That's why I'm popping up on your For You.
Joe's on the For You.
No, I
You ain't
follow.
you ain't getting that
I know.
follow, Joe.
I ain't getting that follow.
No
I
follow
follow you.
more like for life. No follow.
I follow.
More like a different F you.
I will say though, guys, I see what your point. Great points. I feel like this is a bad look for WWE, and here's why. I think it makes them come across as petty. I feel like they are. You guys heard the term punching down, right? AEW isn't competition in the sense of like they're running 2,000, 3,000 seat arenas, and most Raws and SmackDowns are getting like 11,000, 15,000 people. Yes, they're both wrestling companies, but WWE is clear, far and above the more successful of the two. I don't feel like Coke does a lot of taking shots at Pepsi. I don't feel like McDonald's does a whole lot of Burger King Whopper bullshit. You know, when you're on top, you just worry about yourself. And when I've been seeing
Kidding,
some of
right?
these, huh?
Yeah,
You're kidding, right? Because Coke and Pepsi have gone after each other for
No,
years.
no, Pepsi's gone after Coke.
McDonald's and Burger King, same thing.
Burger King goes after McDonald's. Burger King's the one who puts the like what was that burger they had that was like their knockoff of the Big Mac? The Big
the
King,
Big King.
right?
Yeah.
They're like, it's got more meat than the Big Mac. I don't
Okay,
remember
but-
McDonald's going, hey, here's our Whopper. You know, the king, the Mick Whopper.
Brian, you almost had me until you said Raw and SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown aren't doing these dates. It's just NXT. So
No,
they're not punching down.
Okay.
It's the same
Yeah.
level.
I'm
So I
talking
don't
about
see a
the
problem with it.
perception of the business, though.
You said
said
Raw
what I
and
mean.
SmackDown, and you're saying that they don't have to punch down, and so you're
Yeah.
basically saying AEW's inferior.
Yeah.
That lost your argument there, in my opinion. But then when you said Raw and SmackDown, I'm like, but it's NXT shows.
Well, okay.
And
Probably true, but I
don't
would
most of tribalism online talk about how AEW beat NXT in the Wednesday Night Wars back in the day?
Yeah. No, you're right.
So now
Yeah.
basically NXT is like, okay, fine.
Yeah, but NXT is still bigger WWE. I'd have to look at the times too, but does All In, run past 8 o'clock where it will be head to head with Saturday night's main event? You know, that's the main roster too. I don't know.
If it's an AEW pay-per-view, yes, it's going to run
Yeah,
past its
sure,
normal
that's true.
time.
It'll start
Well,
at 3 and be done at 11:30.
Texas is only an hour behind.
Right, but they're
So-
supposed to be starting in the afternoon, is what I read. Like
Right,
they
so
won't
They'll be
start
done
at
10
7, 8
They'll
at
be
night.
done at 10 p.m.
Yes, it's to your point. The show just ended from Sunday night. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I got all your reasonings, but again, from that part of me is just like, really, guys? Like, you could just do your own thing, and you're good with doing your own thing. And I'll give. You know what? I haven't given Tony Khan a lot of credit in the last 2 years. He was asked about this at the Double or Nothing press conference and said, WWE, NXT, whatever, a lot of counter programming to you. What are your thoughts about that? And he said, yeah, this hasn't really happened since the days of Jim Crockett Promotions, I would say. And he goes, and I can assure you, this will not go how that one went. Meaning WWE put Jim Crockett Promotions out of business. That's pumping up your brand. That's not taking shots at like, oh, fuck you, NXT. He just said, we'll be good.
He already did
we'll
that.
Be good.
He already did that though.
I know. That's my point is he's that was a better, looks to me like media training.
Yes, exactly.
I tip my hat to him going like, good job. You didn't bite the fucking bullet to spark the tribalism and go, fuck Triple H. I was like, that's a good professional response. You're pumping up your business, and you left it alone. Cool.
The other night, Triple H was at the Pacer Knicks game in Indianapolis,
Oh, right.
and it was on Turner.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Yeah.
And uh, literally just lost my
Triple
train.
H was there. And
Oh yeah, so people were online like, "Ooh, that's a fu to Tony Khan because they put." I'm like,
that's
"Oh,
a
like
little much.
he's
That's a little
they're in a
much.
business relationship with Tyrese Halliburton."
Yes, completely.
Pat McAfee's right there. Like,
Yeah,
what do you mean they didn't invite Tony Khan? Like, get the fuck
right.
out of here, dummies.
You sent us too, Jay. I think Halliburton was wearing like DX inspired shoes.
Yeah,
Like,
they're not a bit. I went literally to Puma to see if they were for sale, and they are not.
oh, okay. So yeah, they're all in business together like that. Part of the announcement, as part of like the Great American Bash Saturday night's main event, we have Evolution 2. The first one was so many years ago. That'll be that same weekend, Sunday, July 13th. Of course, Evolution is the all women's PLE. Give us a match or a woman wrestler that you want to make sure that you see on this card.
Nikki Bella.
I was thinking her too a little bit. Yeah.
Chelsea Green. No, she'll be on it anyway. No, that's good. I'm sticking with it. Chelsea Green.
But she's recovered from her busted nose from Saturday night's main event.
Two broken noses on consecutive Saturday night main event.
Poor girl. I got two matches. One is Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. And I looked that up, guys, because I was like, they're both obviously great history of success. They haven't had a one-on-one match with each other since October of 2021. We saw them in the triple threat at SummerSlam. Who was the third for that one? I'm drawing a blank now.
Asuka,
thank you. But yeah, they haven't faced each other one-on-one in almost 4 years. I would like to see that on a big spot there. So Charlotte and Bianca Belair. The other one, Rhea Ripley, and this other one is it's a rumor mill, we'll have to see. Rhea Ripley versus a debuting Mariah May.
That's a good one.
That's a good contrast in styles. I think there was a picture of possibly her in the dungeon with Natty training. Like, it's just, you can see like a blonde hair and white girl, like barely. I don't know.
And because the distance away, the rope literally covers her whole face.
Yeah.
Look, there are wrestlers from every promotion at those training.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, just looking at the pictures, the Iconics were there. They don't even wrestle anymore, but they were there.
Hardly. Yeah.
They're getting ready to come back. Mariah May, and then they've got indie people. They got fucking Brody Lee Jr., -10 or whatever his name was. Like, everybody trains there. And this is great if it's her. Even if it is her and she's not going to WWE, it's still great. What's the big deal? But yeah,
exactly.
It just coincidentally that rope covered her face.
Yeah, funny how that happens. NXT shockers I put for Tuesday night. Of course, they just got out of the Battleground PLE, and we had Ethan Page defeating Ricky Saints for the North American title, and then the shocker of shockers, new women's champ JC Jane defeats Stephanie Vaquer, and this one again was completely out of nowhere. She just beat Jordan Grace at Battleground on Sunday. And I don't think anyone saw this coming. Your thoughts on either of those guys, and just as a bigger picture, I kind of thought this was the difference, the yin and the yang of Shawn Michaels and how NXT is, where you can get these surprises and quick title changes, and Triple H more the long game. We're planning stories that go months in advance. Not a whole lot of title swapping every other week, with very few exceptions.
JC Jane should have been the champ 2 years ago, and she should have been on the main roster 2 years ago. This was
she's very good.
It was a pleasant surprise in the fact that it just happened, not that she shouldn't be the champ. But Yeah, I've been flying the flag for her for a while, and it was awesome that, she got the win. But
Yeah.
I think your rundown asked the question, why didn't Jordan Grace win the title? Well, Jordan
Yes.
is going to the main roster as well as Stephanie.
Yes.
So, and I'm wondering how many episodes it's going to take for Stephanie Vaquer to bring Dom chicken tenders.
Just good lining them up, huh?
Yeah. Line them up, knock them down.
Oh man, yeah. Roxy was back again this week.
Rocks box.
Yeah. What do you think here on Joe? Because this was a pretty wild NXT.
Yeah, it was again, nice surprise. Wasn't expecting it. I didn't put together the whole Sean's you know, instant short game while Triple H is like very long title
Yeah.
reigns.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that, but I'm like, okay, those are different styles too, because if you look at their wrestling styles as well, Sean was like the faster and the quicker and the showman, the showstopper, the entertainer, while Triple H was cerebral in his
Yeah.
methods, and it kind of works with his booking as well. Yes, I went there. I was surprised with the Ricky Saints losing, to be honest with you. That one was like really surprising.
Surprises are good in wrestling. Have more.
Love it.
Yeah, and if you really want to get into it, stop reading spoilers.
Here's what's even interesting. I haven't watched NXT yet, and I know everything that happened, but I'm gonna sit and watch it if this playoff game gets out of hand, like it looks like it's going to. Yeah, so
Yeah. And Stephanie Vaquer's been like she's been on Raw half this time anyway, so
Right.
it's not a surprise when kind of looking back on it now. It's like, oh, that makes sense, but it was in the moment, and they played it up. If you saw the finish, they cut to the ring announcer Mike Rome with like his mouth on the floor, and like the timekeeper elbows him like, hey, you got to say something. They played it up, and the crowd went along with it perfectly.
it was
as
a
well.
big shock, a huge.
It was.
So I mean, I'm not. I get it. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
'Cause-
All right, let's get to some quick hitters. Rest in peace, Rick Derringer. Rick Derringer, musician, and best known, I'd say, for some wrestling themes that are probably on everybody's top list. Of course, you've got Real American. I mean, this is iconic as it gets, and not to be outdone too much, the Demolition theme song.
that's the best. That is the best theme song of all wrestling theme songs.
Man, I mean, absolute classics here, guys.
I mean, this.
Yeah. I think he was 77, and yeah, Jay, you met the Demolition guys just a few weeks ago.
And they have a podcast now. I didn't even know that until today.
Oh.
So a couple episodes in, I gotta start at the beginning. But yeah,
I'm sure they'll talk about if you have to meet Rick or just the theme song.
Oh,
itself,
you're sure they're going to talk about meeting Jason?
well, that too. Yes,
Yes.
that'll be on the Patreon episode.
yeah,
Got to subscribe for that one.
Episode 1.
18% over here. All right. Get well soon, Jim Ross. He had cancer surgery this past week. I want to say, was it colon cancer that they found? And
Yeah.
and Conrad tweeted that it was a successful surgery.
Yes. Yeah, I think they said the doctors feel like they got everything removed. What do you guys have like a favorite Jim Ross moment, a call, or just anything? I mean, God, we've been watching him pretty much as long as we've been watching wrestling.
Him saying WWE Dynamite.
Oh, geez,
All the names he
He
got
was
wrong.
guilty of that. Yes.
you were such a hater. of him
Usually
when
you
started
say
in
something
AEW.
nicer about somebody when they're going through
He would
that.
get
But
names wrong.
Yeah.
He's the legend, but
yeah.
My favorite
Yeah.
JR memory wasn't JR. It's the video of watching. Who is it? Is it Y2J? Don't go.
That's one of my favorites too.
It's not even him, but it's
Oh
like
God,
it's
Bobby Lashley, son of a
Eddie
bitch,
Guerrero. That son of a.
Stone Cold. Yeah, that's
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
that does get me every time. On a more legitimate note, for me, I will say Jim Ross. I loved His line at WrestleMania 18 is my favorite line ever when Hogan hits the leg drop on Rock and he goes for the pin and he says he beat Andre the Giant with this move. I mean, whoo, that was just like, you talk about how big wrestling is. That one did it for me. That's my favorite call of all time. I also love though, and I caught was watching Mankind, Taker, Hell in a Cell. And when Terry Funk comes down and checks out Mick Foley and he choke slams him and eventually like his shoes fell off and he just nonchalantly goes, Undertaker choke slam Terry Funk right out of his shoes. Like clearly not planned. And it was just kept rolling from there.
And wasn't Funk wearing like the old man Air Monarchs?
I think so. They're big, puffy, and white. Yeah. So get well soon, JR.
Hey, I got one.
Okay. Oh boy. If we can top your last one.
The Muhammad Hassan Dark Side of the Ring was this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I plan on watching that because it's like that is a definite story I was interested in.
He just did an interview with Sean Ross Sapp last week to promote the episode. It was awesome. I mean, there is a great story about something that happened, and he had to go to wrestler's court.
Oh,
so
okay, I gotta.
It was really good. Dark Side of the Ring, it's so good.
Yeah, it sucks. I haven't watched like anything really from this season. It's just we've talked about how there's so much wrestling, and some things are just gonna fall off your plate. Speaking of so much wrestling, it looks like SmackDown is staying 3 hours. Jay, do you have the womp 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 effect? No. I did it for us. Yeah, the rumor, or no, it wasn't even a rumor. Triple H, when they announced it, like, hey, probably in June or summertime, it goes back to 2 hours. And now it looks like that's not happening. USA likes it being 3 hours. And
yeah, today was supposed to be the last one when they announced it. They said May 30th. It's like it was supposed to be the last one. And they're like, no, we're gonna keep it. It's doing well. We'll revisit it in the fall, but I think it's just basically they don't have Raw anymore, and they're realizing that it's their bread and butter right now. Back. What was that?
Barmageddon didn't come back.
Barmageddon
did not come back. No, sorry.
Yeah. I think that's a mistake. Like the 2 hours on Friday, it's tough to get through.
This past week, though, it wasn't that bad. Like the third, like going 3 hours, it was. It didn't feel like a chore.
Okay.
I think it's just like it feels like a chore when it's Friday. It's the end of the week. Having a 3 hour Raw is the beginning of the week, so you're fresh. Exactly. It will be different for me starting next week when school is over with. So every day's a weekend for me, so it doesn't really matter. But like it's hard to stay awake from it. Yes, lucky me until it all starts up again.
Yes. Well, yeah, and to your point, I wanted to throw these out there, guys. We have 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight on SmackDown. Love to give your picks. The men's one, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Jacob Fatu. I want to say Andrade and Carmelo were in last year's Money in the Bank, which you were in the building for, Jay, in Toronto.
It was, yeah. I don't remember.
I don't remember for sure, but who do you think here, guys?
I mean, I think Carmelo Hayes would be a good addition.
Yeah. I don't see Jacob.
I don't see that.
There's something because Solo's already in the match.
I see JC trying to help and screwing him over. So I would rather see Carmelo do it.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Sorry, Andrade.
I think we'll make it 3 for 3 there. And then
the pairing with The Miz just makes me laugh. I mean, it's so absurd and corny. Yeah,
I like the Andre necklace. I'm not gonna lie. It finally makes the Andre trophy worthwhile because he's still wearing it like a championship.
That's fair. Yeah, the trophy would always get destroyed anyway after a week or two. So yeah.
I got Dre, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old.
The women's qualifier. This is another one. I mean, fucking flip 3 coins. It's Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. You could put any one of those three in there, and I'd probably go, yeah, sure, makes sense.
Yeah. I would like to see Crazy Naomi get it. I really like this version. I mean, this is to me the best thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll go Naomi.
I'm going with Jade because she can win and be inside of a 6-person match and not have to do much.
Help
for
protect
this,
her a little
and
bit.
still protect her a bit and still be in a main event spot. So I'm going with Jade.
I'll go with Nia. I feel like Naomi and Jade will cancel each
sorry.
other out.
Reflex. Sorry.
I think they'll cancel each other out. They'll screw something up with each other that leaves Nia with the win. But I mean, yeah, any direction that's going to go fine. All right, before we say goodbye, spot of the week. I didn't put this in the rundown, so you guys didn't have so much time to prepare. I'll go first, and maybe I'll be the only one.
I actually.
Oh, well, that'd be my guess. The man I didn't even think he would even be here has got a spot of the week. Well, holy shit, let's go.
Told you I can't let the people down. Dragon Lee diving through the rope and over the broadcast table.
That was hot. That was great. Joe, you have one?
I gotta say, I said it earlier, but I'm gonna go it again. R-Truth's look of sadness and brokenheartedness when the Cena had the title on him. That was that's. I mean, a week later, I'm still thinking about that. I'm like, he played that perfect. Mm-hmm. He looks like a child, even though he's in his mid-50s.
Allegedly.
Did you buy the Ron shirt?
No, I did not. I have the OG red one. Last time is now.
That's awesome. I'll go.
But I was wondering why Cena came out first. I was like, why is Cena coming out first for this match? But then it made so much sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The music, the moveset. It was fun.
All right.
Mine will be during that Ethan Page Ricky Saints match. They had a lot of security, like at the beginning of the match, pulling them apart, and they went outside the ring. They kind of went over the announce table. Security was kind of pulling them apart. And as that was like being put away by the ref and kind of like get the match going, Page hits a cutter. They're both on the outside, and there's a folding chair that like one of the legs was like bent and like putting up, and he puts the cutter, and it was like filmed so well that like he just landed on like the upright leg of the chair. He sold it that it like went to his throat, and they continued selling it the whole match. He got like stun gunned off a top rope, and he ended up losing the title. And I just let out a big O when I saw that because it was shot so well and really cool. And yeah, Ethan Page, hell yeah, good for him, man. Good for him. And presumably Ricky's going to move up, you would think. All right, that'll do it for this week. Next week, Money in the Bank predictions and preview show. So we'll look forward to that. At That WrestlePod for social media, whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise, and youtube.com/That Wrestling Podcast. Maybe you can be one of the 18% who subscribe to the YouTube channels. I think I'm going to use that from now on, Chris. Sorry. Just kidding. All right, for Jason, for Joe, and for Kevin, who's not with us, but probably will be back next week, I'm Brian. Thanks so much. Enjoy wrestling. We will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3. That's it.